Hi, my name is Charlie Hugh-Jones, and this is Unlocking the Best Version of You, the podcast for high-performing individuals and entrepreneurs who want to be more productive, feel more purposeful, enjoy more resilience and vitality, and increase the depth and richness of their connection with others. I'm so glad you're here. And once again, it's time to unlock the best version of you. Hi. Most days I write down roughly 30 things that I am grateful for. And I've been doing this now for about 18 months. No matter what is going on in my life, where I am or how I feel that particular day, I still do this. And I'm not pretending that I do it every day and I'm rigorous as a monk 7 days a week, but maybe 5 out of 7 days and some weeks less than that. But it's profoundly changed how I look at the world. It's changed how I feel each day, and it's also changed how many wonderful things happen to me or opportunities present themselves to me. You see, our world seems like a pretty negative place a lot of the time, but that perception is not a true reflection of reality. Our brains are just wired with a negativity bias. I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen. I'm not saying that terrifying and horrific things don't destroy lives every day. But what I am saying is that our 24/7 always-on news cycle and how much attention we give to social media triggers the part of our brain that are wired to react to the stimuli it deems negative. So, our attitudes and how we see the world are more heavily influenced by bad news than good news. And this bad news radar causes us to perceive the world as much worse than it truly is, which then fuels anxiety and fear and many of the negative decisions that flow from those two emotions in our lives. This leads me to the choice that I have the freedom to make every day. Do I want to feed the negativity, or do I want to look for the good? You know, I'm really fond of quoting Albert Einstein, and he once said, the most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe. For the last 18 months, I've chosen to look for the good. I have chosen to believe that we live in a friendly universe, and it, as I've said, has changed my life profoundly. No matter what is going on in my life, I can always find many, many things that I'm so grateful for. When I started my gratitude practice, I started by writing a journal, and my list was just 3 items long, and it was a bit clunky trying to think about it when I first started. Oh, what can I be grateful for today? But the more I did it, the easier it became. By looking at all the things I have to be grateful for each day, I'm able to retrain myself and appreciate more deeply all of the gifts of this world. Now, there's this amazing quote, which is in Kung Fu Panda. And I mean, it's been used many, many times. It's just that's where I recollect it from. You can imagine me sitting with the kids watching Kung Fu Panda, and this ancient wise one stands in front of the character that Jack Black is voicing and says, yesterday's the past, tomorrow's the future. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. I love that. That's amazing. And that's what I get to celebrate every day, that I've been given breath, that I've given lots and lots of things. And I mentioned the 24/7 news cycle and social media earlier, but for some of us, our internal critic is even more negative. It seems laser focused on showing us exactly what is bad about any given situation, how we constantly fail, or what is likely to go wrong at any moment. I often talk to people in seminars and in coaching sessions where we look at what changed from that childlike wonder of the world. And when do we start simply rehearsing the question time and time and time again, what might go wrong here? I spent the whole first part of my career, 10 years, becoming a partner in a preeminent law firm, and most of my role was to crystal ball gaze, look into the future, figure out what might go wrong, and then make provision, create provisions to help people manage that. I made it a career of figuring out what could go wrong. But kids, you know what they do? They look at the world and they look at experiencing things that are going to go on, and they say to themselves, what might go right here? And I love that. And I've been beginning to train my mind to look for what might go right. This is all about gratitude. So I want to tell you, but our mind is just a tool, you see. I don't say just a tool. It's the most magnificent tool in the universe, but it is a tool. Its primary job is risk management and problem solving, and study after study after study has proved that we can retrain it. Our mindset is not fixed. And we don't want to retrain it to diminish its capacity to risk manage or problem solve. I mean, that's what it's there for. But we want to retrain it so that it has a more balanced, accurate picture of the threats to us, be they physical or psychological, and to open it up to more creative energy, what might go right here. Now, I'll tell you a bit more about the science behind all of this a little later in the podcast, but I just want to tell you a little bit of practical ways of how we can do this as I have a slip of my coffee. Decaf, middle of the day. One thing I've learned is to reduce my caffeine intake, because that helps me manage my mind better. So what do? Well, each day to practice this gratitude, I write down things that I'm grateful for. And that is specifically to help my brain see things better, to move the needle from negative biased thoughts to more positive ones. And the earlier I do this each day, the better mindset I have for the rest of the day. There's another podcast about how to generate more energy and patience and what have you during the day. And I share some of my daily routines and my morning ritual in that. And this is part of it. The earlier I do this, the better I set up my mind for the rest of the day. Occasionally, I still get stuck in my head or caught up with negative people or situations, and I end up putting off my list until later in the day or don't even do it at all. But as soon as I do, I feel way, way, way better. And what's really interesting is that the items on my list are very rarely things. I mean, they are things, yes. Sometimes I'm grateful for stuff, cars, clothes, where we get to live. But the vast majority of things I'm grateful for are experiences, simple things, like Elena's laugh, that's my 16-year-old daughter, or holding Abby's hand when we go for a walk each morning, or having the opportunity to see someone's aha moment and the new possibilities that open up for them when I have the privilege of coaching them, helping someone else, seeing them grow, or taking the time to feel the wind on my skin, or to notice the vividness of the color of the sky today. Now, they seem like a little bit of woo-woo shit, but I promise you guys, when you do this, you begin to appreciate that. It's like I've often said to people about I went to dinner once with this amazing sommelier. He's a guy who tells you about wine for a living. And I drank a glass of wine. He said, "That's good, isn't it?" And I went, "Slurp." "Yeah, that's good." He said, "Did you notice the bang, 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 the apricot taste, the little burnt wood, this here?" And I'm like, "I didn't notice that. Take me through it again." And by bringing my attention to it, this sommelier taught me how to experience wine more deeply, more richly. And moments before, I'd just been drinking exactly the same thing and going, "Yep, that's good," to being able to taste the history and appreciate the work and craft that had gone into the wine. That was just a decision and a couple of moments away. I'm talking about the same thing for appreciating life when we do this practice of becoming more grateful, of practicing gratitude. And if writing a gratitude journal seems a little overwhelming for you, start by writing a quick note in the Notes app of your phone. Just a list of 3 things. I challenge you to give it a week and see how you feel at the end of it. Just 3 things that you're grateful for that day. And you can supercharge this practice. If you're one of those people who wants to take it to the next level, you can supercharge this practice by adding the words, get this, or the word because at the end of your sentences, and then following through. that amps it up quite a bit, and you begin to perceive things differently when you say, I'm grateful for that sky because it made me feel amazing. I'm grateful for holding Elena's hand because it reminded me of the depth of our connection. I'm grateful for the opportunity to help people because I'm fulfilling my purpose every day in life when I get to do that, helping people or inspiring and equipping people to unlock the best version of themselves. So that's why if you add the because on the end, it'll supercharge it and you'll soon notice quite a difference. And I know telling you about my experiences is kind of a little anecdotal. Oh, it works for Charlie, but will it work for me? And but I want to say this, I've known the theory for many years. Okay, like a lot of us, we've read the books, we've read self-help, self-development, professional development books. We know this is good for us, but we don't do it. And I put off doing this for a long time. I didn't start doing this till I was 42 years old, folks. So I knew the theory, but I didn't put it into practice until recently. And that's why I'm telling you about it now. And this is why I'm kind of going on and on. You see, some of the most successful people in the world have trained their brains to focus not on problems, which I said is part of that negativity bias, and it's a natural tendency of the brain, but on what they can appreciate or be grateful for, regardless of the circumstance or situation. In our everyday experiences, the problem is never really a problem. This is a mindset shift thing here. The problem is the meaning that we give the experience we're having. That's why it's so difficult sometimes to be grateful. And what successful individuals do, and I've started doing as well, is developing a habit of attributing empowering meaning or meaning that feels good and therefore generates energy to the otherwise perceived problems or challenges that they face or we face in our lives. That's how we find gratitude. We find gratitude. And in doing so, these successful people that are out there that you see that seem to go through life joyfully and contentedly, they reshape their moment-by-moment experiences through doing this practice and position themselves in a state of high energy and high mental activity and access more creativity by attributing positive meanings to their experiences. Because in each moment of our lives, we have the ability to assign meaning. One of my favorite coaches and a great friend of mine, Roy Assad, said this in a seminar we were given a couple of months back. We are meaning-making machines. If we experience something, we want to attach a meaning to it. So, what meaning are you going to attach to the experience? The meaning in itself is absolutely arbitrary. It really is, yet critically important in determining your future success or failure or how you feel. Let's think about a basketball player for a second, or some of the greatest that, we have ever thought about. Michael Jordan, okay? Every basketball player experiences a shooting slump. That's a time where they miss shot after shot after shot. Now, great shooters like Michael Jordan give a different meaning to a missing streak than average shooters. Do you see what I'm saying here? The best shooters give every miss the meaning that the next shot hoop, the next basket through the hoop, is ever closer. Because they believe that slump streak, that missed shot streak, must end at some point, and that every missed shot is one shot closer to getting it in. Now, that's what great shooters do. That's what the Michael Jordans of this world do. Average shooters, those who don't make the numbers like the Michael Jordans of this world, average shooters focus on the missed shot, and they attribute a meaning that there is still something wrong with them, wrong with their game, wrong with their technique for not having ended that slump yet, that missing streak. So in the first example, the empowering meaning that the streak is near the end provides the great players with the energy, the focus, determination, and presence to more likely make the next shot. They're alert, they're alive, they're creatively open. Their bodies are more likely to get into flow. But in the latter example, the average shooter, the player, is in a poor energetic state, and they're more likely to continue that slump. Because as they're self-critical, as they're looking for what's wrong, they draw that negative energy in, and they're unlikely to make the shot. So neither meaning is more or less accurate or correct than the other. Don't get me wrong here. The meaning that is given to that event, that experience, determines the likelihood of success or failure of the next instance. Do you get it? Do you see what I'm saying there? And that's the same for our lives. In business and in our lives, we experience the same types of periods where things go wrong, where we get slumps. Life is constantly bringing us experiences that if we allow the brain to operate in its default mechanism with that negativity bias, we're always going to see problems, and we're always going to complain, and we're going to always wonder, when is this going to end? Because we haven't received the finance from those funders. We haven't managed to up our grades. We haven't. Fill in the blanks here for yourself. However, in every perceived problem, there is a blessing, a gift, a lesson, a teaching. Last night I was being taught by an amazing physician, Dr. Darren Weissman. He says every problem is a portal, and it's a portal to self-knowledge, to growth. And the ability that we can cultivate is to find the gift. It's the ability to attribute gratefulness to a situation or a circumstance. And that's why our gratitude practice is so important. In finding gratitude, we tap into an unlimited, energetic credit line with the universe that fuels us with the vitality, energy, resourcefulness, creativity, and ideas necessary to create a breakthrough in any areas of our lives. The reason I didn't tell you this until after I told you about my own practice is because I've experienced this. This isn't just theory to me anymore. It's practical daily practice. And it's so freaking simple. You see, it's our responsibility to master our minds and enroll the brain, the mind, by training it to focus on all of the abundance, the opportunity, the support that's around us, and all of that has always been there for us, but that we've been ignoring it. Have you ever got a new car or a new bike, and then suddenly you've gone out and you see it many, many times around you? It's like, wow, we just got a Volvo XC40 that we have for a few months here, and now we're seeing them everywhere. And what's happening is our reticular activation method in our brain is spotting things. Oh, I recognize that. I know that. I see more of that. I want more of that. That's what we're activating with our gratitude. We feel grateful. We begin to see things for which we're grateful. And our mind goes, aha, now I know what I should be looking for. More of that. And so it goes. It's always been there for us, folks. Our negativity bias has facilitated us ignoring it. So by doing this practice, you're able to take the energetic foundation created by empowering decisions, by giving them more empowering meanings, to a whole new level by practicing an attitude of gratitude. Because then you can maintain a higher energy state in order to unlock the best version of you more often. See, here's a bit of the science. The power of gratitude is a neuro-conditioning mental exercise by which we signal to the brain that this thing over here that we've experienced, we want more of. We can actually study the brain and see that when people are grateful, the specific parts of the brain that represent the memory of that experience light up. Boom, boom. And the myelin sheaths of the neurosynaptic connections around that memory become thicker. The electrical impulse between those connections in your brain actually become stronger. And the result is enrolling your brain, your mind, to find more of that which you are already grateful for. You have more ideas in alignment with the experiences that you're grateful for. Wow, it's self-reinforcing. You begin to perceive things in your reality that were always there, like I said, that are similar to that which you're already grateful for, and you begin to attract even more experiences, people, and resources in your life to be grateful for. So this is the truth. This is why I'm so excited about the practice of gratitude and how it's shaping my attitude and my experience of the world every day. Because the seeds you sow with gratitude reap rewards in your reality. They actually become more true. Now, I don't know if you've heard of positive psychology. I have long been a arm's length student of Professor Martin Seligman, who is regularly cited as the father of the positive psychology movement. And his team at the University of Pennsylvania have regularly, time and time again, established the benefits of practicing gratitude that are far more extensive than simply feeling better. Okay? It's not just about how you feel. It's about how you experience the world and how the world comes to you. The benefits of gratitude. Here's a list. So if you can just bear with me as I list these off. Here's a list of proven practical benefits of a gratitude practice. Improved physical, emotional, and social well-being. It affects your bodies, folks. It reduces stress. It helps you feel more fulfilled. That's level 1. Level 2, greater optimism and happiness. Man, I don't necessarily go into every day going, oh, I want to be a pessimist and I don't want to be happy. No, I actually want those things. I can train my brain to look for them. You can get improved feelings of connection in times of loss or crises. Wow, like I said, there's no rose-tinted spectacles here. I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen, but that our experience of it and how we connect and reach out to others can be improved as we experience that. Increased self-esteem. Whoa. Okay, who doesn't want to counteract the negative critical voice in our world? Heightened energy levels. Oh, yes. Again, I said there's another podcast where I taught you through my morning ritual and what you might do to unlock more energy every day. This is one of the things that helps you do that. Here we go. You're going to like this one. Strengthened heart, immune system, and decreased blood pressure. You don't need to take a pill, folks. You may need to. I'm not trying to diss any proper medical advice, but you can augment those things by practicing gratitude, strengthened heart, immune system, and decreased blood pressure. Okay, students out there or people who think the brain gets foggy sometimes, and mine did a little bit until I got into this practice. Improved emotional and academic intelligence. Go check out the studies. Improved emotional and academic intelligence. IQ points, EQ points, folks, through a gratitude practice. These are the results. And again, for those of you who have difficulty letting go of the slights and the wounds and the things that have really hurt you in your life, one of the benefits of a gratitude practice is an expanded capacity for forgiveness. There you go. Okay, 3 more to go and then we're done. Decreased stress, anxiety, depression, and headaches. You don't need to reach for a pill. Again, decreased stress, anxiety, depression, and headaches. Benefits of gratitude. Scientifically established, proven, through peer-reviewed, repeatable studies. Okay, here's a few other things. Improved self-care and a greater likelihood to exercise. Okay, if any of you procrastinate on the exercise front, and we're coming up to the new year, so I know many of you are going to set New Year's resolutions, this practice can improve your own self-care regime and can improve the likelihood of you exercising, moving it more from a possibility to a probability that you're going to put your running shoes, your sneakers, your trainers on and go out for that run or get to the gym or go for a swim, whatever it is. A practice will help you do that. And finally, heightened spirituality, the ability to see something bigger than ourselves, to transcend our personal circumstances and connect with a higher power or a higher purpose. Gratitude helps you do that. So there's some of the scientifically proven benefits of gratitude. I hope that you take this podcast day and you begin to think, okay, how am I going to do this? When am I going to do this? Because I'm grateful for you. It's an honor to be able to share my thoughts with you and hopefully help you in some little way. So the question I leave you with today is the same as always. This practice of gratitude, you've learned some science, you've learned about some of my experience, you've learned about some people you can go and research the studies for yourself. Once you've learned that, what are you going to do about it to unlock the best version of you this afternoon, tomorrow morning, the day after that? Just one thing you could do differently. Hey, if you're ready to take your productivity to a whole new level, make sure you grab a copy of my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Unlocking a More Productive You. If you want to learn the secrets of getting more of what matters most done, then this book is for you. And right now, when you visit my website, charliehugh-jones.com, I'll give you instant access to the first 3 chapters of this book, absolutely free. All you have to do is enter your name and email, and you can immediately start to discover the 3 keys to making space, increasing focus, and getting more of what matters most done. So go ahead and visit Charlie Hugh Jones now to get your copy of the first 3 chapters. My goal in each episode of this podcast is to inspire and equip you to unlock the best version of you. If you gained a valuable insight today, then please do me a favor and go out on social media and make sure to share this episode with others. Post your thoughts, post your reactions, share what insight you gained through listening to it. And don't forget to go and encourage someone else today. And make sure you hashtag Unlocking You so we can see what kind of things are making an impact and really making a difference. Oh, and don't forget to take a moment to subscribe to the show too on iTunes or on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. Until next time, here's to the best version of you. Bye for now.